Could it be that a simple girl from a small village in 19th century France saw the future? Our future. Today, we'll uncover the story of Sister Bernadette, a young visionary whose predictions for 2025 are captivating believers and skeptics alike. With a world facing more frequent natural disasters, social division, and an undeniable sense of urgency, Bernadette's visions appear almost prophetic. How could a young girl, known for her visions of the Virgin Mary, foresee events that resonate so deeply with our world over a century later? Before we continue with the video, we would like to ask you to help us and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for your support. Sister Bernadette, or Bernadette Soubirous, was born in Lourdes, France, in 1844, living a life defined by faith, simplicity, and struggle. Her visions of the Virgin Mary and her messages of hope, repentance, and healing transformed her into a figure of reverence and skepticism alike. Though she gained attention in her lifetime, her life ended humbly in a convent, her story living on through her predictions and the renowned pilgrimage site of Lourdes. But today, many are revisiting her words, questioning if her visions may have contained clues, not only about spiritual matters, but also warnings about a future we now find ourselves navigating. In recent years, interest has surged in one of her lesser-known predictions, a great awakening that would come in the face of natural and societal turmoil. Bernadette's visions hinted at intense struggles where the world would tremble, but would ultimately find a path back to faith and unity. This statement, mysterious and open to interpretation, is at the core of her 2025 prediction. Could she have foreseen the storms and fires, the tensions between nations, and a world on the brink of change? From visions of floods, blazing skies, and an earth in distress, to words filled with hope for a chosen child who might lead humanity back to its essential values, Bernadette's messages have taken on a new, profound meaning. Today we're left with questions. Did Bernadette somehow foresee these crises? Is her message a warning or a roadmap for what's to come? As we face mounting environmental, political, and spiritual challenges, Bernadette's words urge us to reflect on the role of faith, unity, and compassion in a world that feels increasingly divided. In this video, we'll delve into Sister Bernadette's life, her remarkable visions, and the ways her messages seem to echo our current global issues. We'll also explore how people from all walks of life, religious believers, skeptics, and spiritual seekers, interpret her predictions for 2025. Join us as we peel back the layers of her story to uncover not just a message of impending trials, but also a vision of hope that's needed now more than ever. If you're intrigued by mysticism, prophecy, and the mysteries of faith, this story will leave you with much to ponder. And if you're eager to understand what lies ahead, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Not only will you stay updated with videos like this, but you'll also become part of a community dedicated to unraveling the mysteries that shape our lives. Are you ready to explore the prophecies of Sister Bernadette? Then let's dive into her world and see what she might have seen, a glimpse of 2025, and perhaps a glimpse of what awaits us all. Sister Bernadette's story began humbly in the small town of Lourdes, France, on January 7, 1844. Born Bernadette Soubirous, she was the eldest of 9 children in a family living in extreme poverty. Life for the Soubirous family was marked by hardship, illness, hunger, and a constant struggle for survival. Despite these challenges, Bernadette was known for her gentle and resilient spirit. Little did she know, her life would take a path that would forever alter the town of Lourdes and the lives of millions. From an early age, Bernadette suffered from asthma and other ailments, which prevented her from attending school regularly. Instead, she took on responsibilities at home and worked as a shepherdess to help support her family. Her lack of formal education, however, would become a point of irony, as this unassuming girl would later deliver messages with profound theological significance. Messages that even the educated could not easily dismiss. In 1858, at the age of 14, Bernadette's life changed in a way no one could have anticipated. On February 11th, while gathering firewood near a grotto known as Massabielle, she had a vision that would forever mark her life. In a small, unassuming grotto, she saw a radiant figure of a woman, dressed in white, surrounded by a bright light. Unsure of what she was witnessing, Bernadette initially kept the experience to herself. But soon she began describing the figure as a beautiful lady, her childlike wonder mixing with an air of reverence. Over the following months, this vision reappeared to her a total of 18 times, each encounter revealing a new message or instruction. The beautiful lady, later identified as the Virgin Mary, shared messages urging people to pray for sinners, return to God, and believe in the power of repentance. One of her requests was simple but powerful. She asked Bernadette to pray for the world. The messages centered on faith, healing, and mercy. Concepts Bernadette could barely comprehend herself, but shared faithfully. Bernadette's visions quickly attracted the attention of locals, and the small grotto at Lourdes soon became a place of curiosity, devotion, and controversy. News spread like wildfire, and people from nearby villages began visiting to witness what they believed to be a miracle. However, with this growing attention came the first wave of skepticism. Both the local authorities and the Catholic Church doubted Bernadette's claims, questioning her truthfulness and sanity. Police interrogated her, and church officials scrutinized her accounts, looking for any sign of deception or fabrication. Despite this intense pressure, Bernadette remained steadfast. Her sincerity and humility left a profound impact on those who spoke with her, as she never wavered or recanted her experiences. In a remarkable turn of events, during one of her apparitions, the Virgin Mary instructed Bernadette to dig into the ground at the grotto. Confused but obedient, Bernadette dug and unearthed a small spring. At first glance, it seemed insignificant, but soon, reports emerged of people experiencing miraculous healings after drinking or bathing in the water. The spring at Lourdes quickly gained a reputation as a place of healing, attracting visitors from all over France and eventually from across the world. Pilgrims came with hope, seeking relief from physical ailments and spiritual renewal. As the healings continued, the Catholic Church began to take Bernadette's visions more seriously. In 1862, just 4 years after her apparitions, the Church officially recognized her visions as legitimate, declaring that the Virgin Mary had indeed appeared to Bernadette at Lourdes. This formal recognition marked a major milestone, validating Bernadette's experiences and transforming Lourdes into one of the world's most significant pilgrimage destinations. Despite her newfound fame, Bernadette chose a path of humility and seclusion. She joined the Sisters of Charity in Nevers, France, where she dedicated herself to a life of service. In the convent, she quietly cared for the sick and poor, continuing her devotion to others even as her own health declined. Bernadette's delicate health, compounded by tuberculosis, worsened over time, leading to her eventual passing on April 16, 1879, at the age of 35. Though her life was cut short, her influence was just beginning. Sister Bernadette's unwavering faith and humility left a profound legacy. In a world fascinated by miracles, she reminded people of the power of simplicity and devotion. She didn't seek fame, wealth, or status. Instead, she always emphasized that she was merely a messenger for the Virgin Mary's words. Bernadette's story grew in significance over the years, inspiring believers from all backgrounds and strengthening the Catholic faith worldwide. In 1933, Bernadette was canonized as a saint by the Catholic Church, an acknowledgement of her impact on countless lives. Today, Lourdes remains a place of pilgrimage, drawing millions who seek healing, comfort, and a renewed sense of faith. The spring at Lourdes continues to be a symbol of hope, and the thousands of reported healings attributed to its waters serve as a testament to the enduring power of Bernadette's visions. Even as time has passed, the legacy of Sister Bernadette lives on, encouraging people to believe in the miraculous, to seek faith in times of struggle, and to hold on to the hope that there is something greater than themselves guiding their path. While Sister Bernadette's visions primarily centered on messages of faith and repentance, there were deeper, mysterious elements within her experiences that some believe foretold events that extend beyond her time. Among the recorded apparitions and conversations she shared, several unsettling predictions hint at a period of Great trials for humanity, an era marked by natural disasters, social upheaval, and a crisis of faith. Intriguingly, these visions seem to have unsettling parallels with the challenges the world is facing now, over a century later. Could Bernadette have foreseen the trials of 2025? One of Bernadette's most discussed predictions is her vision of natural disasters that would bring the world to its knees. She spoke of the rivers overflowing, the skies ablaze, and the earth in agony. At first, these images seemed like metaphors, but with the intensity of current environmental crises, from wildfires scorching vast lands to floods displacing thousands, these words now resonate on a different level. As climate change leads to unprecedented temperatures, wildfires, and natural catastrophes, Bernadette's warnings appear eerily prescient. Could it be that she saw the environmental degradation that scientists are warning about today? Her vision of skies ablaze aligns almost perfectly with the imagery of massive fires that have swept across countries, creating a sky often thick with smoke and even turning day into an eerie night. Many religious believers interpret Bernadette's warnings as calls to action, urging humanity to change its ways before reaching a point of no return. Environmental experts have been sounding similar alarms, emphasizing that the planet is reaching critical tipping points that could result in irreversible damage. For these individuals, Bernadette's prophecy isn't just a spiritual prediction, but a reminder that humanity's actions have lasting consequences. Some see in her words a plea to respect and protect creation itself, echoing the urgency with which environmentalists and scientists are now calling for global reform. But Bernadette's predictions did not solely focus on environmental events. She also hinted at social divisions and conflicts that would destabilize societies. She described a future where nations will rise against each other, not with weapons of war, but with words filled with hatred and division. In today's world, the growing polarization across political and social spectrums seems to align almost exactly with her prophecy. We are witnessing an era where misinformation, distrust, and hostility fuel division within societies and between nations. The rise of populism, political extremism, and ideological conflicts has fractured the unity of many nations, pushing countries and communities into deep divisions. This prediction resonates especially when we consider the role of social media in spreading misinformation and intensifying these divides. In 2025, as we face widespread digital discourse, these words of division are no longer just confined to debates, but have transformed into large-scale movements and societal rifts. The powerful impact of misinformation and the struggle to maintain truth amidst growing hostility highlight Bernadette's words about a time when hatred and division would be at the center of society's struggles. Her vision speaks to an era where technology itself becomes both a tool for connection and a weapon of discord, capable of both inspiring unity and driving division. Yet in her prophetic vision, Bernadette also spoke of a glimmer of hope amidst the turmoil, a time she described as the Great Awakening. According to her accounts, this era of trials would not lead to humanity's downfall, but rather serve as a catalyst for a renewed faith and sense of unity. "The world will tremble," she reportedly said, "but faith will be restored." In this prophecy, she saw a time when people would return to spiritual roots, seeking comfort and guidance in faith as they face the challenges of the world together. This concept of a great awakening, where faith and compassion rise from a backdrop of crisis, resonates strongly with the world's current state. During the pandemic and other global challenges, many people began searching for meaning, embracing spirituality, prayer, and meditation as ways to cope with uncertainty. In this vision, Bernadette saw masses turning to faith, gathering in unity, and moving toward healing. The idea that adversity could lead people to reconnect with their values has been evident throughout history, especially in moments when humanity is confronted with its own fragility. This part of Bernadette's prophecy has encouraged those who see current global issues as both warnings and opportunities for transformation. Her words suggest that humanity's trials are not solely punishment or consequence, but are also a path toward a renewed, united world. One of the most mysterious elements in Bernadette's predictions involves a figure she referred to as the chosen child. While Bernadette never specified exactly who or what this figure would be, she spoke of an individual rising from obscurity, someone with immense spiritual influence who would help guide humanity through its darkest times. She suggested that this person would bring a message of hope and serve as a catalyst for unity and compassion in a world beset by conflict and division. For many, this prophecy of a chosen child represents the idea of a transformative leader who will inspire people across divides, whether in religion, politics, or another realm of influence. As 2025 approaches, the chosen child prophecy has sparked curiosity and speculation, with some wondering if this figure has already emerged or is yet to appear. Others interpret this figure more symbolically, seeing the chosen child as a collective force rather than a single person, a new generation committed to healing, renewal, and faith in humanity. As young people become more active in social, environmental, and spiritual realms, this prophecy takes on a new meaning, reflecting the potential of new voices to guide society in times of crisis. Bernadette's prophecies also hinted at an age of exposed corruption, where people would demand justice and truth from their leaders. She saw a time when the unjust will be cast out and the truth will rise. In recent years, global movements advocating for justice, transparency, and accountability have gained momentum. Protests against corruption, inequality, and authoritarian regimes have swept across continents, with people uniting to demand change. Bernadette's vision of a world where justice prevails resonates with a growing sentiment among people today who are no longer willing to accept exploitation or dishonesty from those in power. This prophecy adds a layer of hope to Bernadette's overall message, indicating that while humanity will face severe trials, these challenges could be the impetus for a more just and compassionate society. Her belief in a time of grace following hardship suggests that humanity's trials are ultimately part of a larger transformation toward unity, compassion, and faith. As we approach 2025, Sister Bernadette's words take on even greater significance. The convergence of environmental, political, and spiritual crises has led many to question the course humanity is on and to seek answers in places they may have previously overlooked. Her predictions, though rooted in faith, seem to touch upon universal truths that resonate with people from all backgrounds. In a world that often feels increasingly divided and destabilized, her message offers both a warning and a vision of hope, reminding us that even in times of darkness, there is the possibility of a brighter, more united future. Bernadette's prophecies remind us of the power of resilience, the strength of unity, and the importance of holding on to faith even when the world appears to be unraveling. Her words suggest that humanity is not bound to a path of destruction. Rather, we have the power to choose compassion, healing, and transformation in response to the challenges before us. As we face the uncertainties of 2025 and beyond, Bernadette's message invites us to reflect on how we can be agents of positive change, drawing upon faith, unity, and an enduring hope for a better future. Bernadette's story and predictions invite a complex debate. Can spiritual visions coexist with scientific reasoning, or must they remain in separate realms? Her predictions, particularly the ones about future turmoil and awakening, have sparked discussions among believers, skeptics, scientists, and theologians. While many see her visions as divine warnings, others argue they are symbolic, shaped by the culture and beliefs of her time. In this section, we'll explore how Bernadette's prophecies are viewed by those who revere her as a saint, by scientists who look for logical explanations, and by those who believe that faith and science might be closer allies than we think. For devout followers, especially within the Catholic Church, Bernadette is more than a historical figure. She is a saint and a chosen messenger. Her apparitions of the Virgin Mary and the miracles at Lourdes have made her a source of inspiration and a figure of deep reverence. For these believers, Bernadette's visions are not merely symbolic, but carry divine truth. Her predictions about great trials and a chosen child are interpreted as urgent calls for humanity to seek repentance, faith, and unity. The faithful believe her messages carry timeless relevance, especially in light of today's global crises. For them, Bernadette's predictions for 2025 align with similar messages delivered by other saints and prophets throughout history: calls to return to faith, to live justly, and to prepare spiritually for the challenges ahead. However, for skeptics and the scientific community, Bernadette's predictions fall under a different lens. They approach her prophecies with caution, seeing them more as historical artifacts than divine revelations. Skeptics argue that her visions, like those of many other prophets and mystics, use vague language and symbols that can be reinterpreted to fit different events. They point out that warnings of environmental disaster, social conflict, and a yearning for spiritual renewal are recurring themes throughout human history, not necessarily tied to any supernatural foreknowledge. From this viewpoint, the parallels between Bernadette's visions and our current crises are seen as coincidences or natural human tendencies to find meaning in times of struggle. For scientists studying climate change, natural disasters, and environmental crises, the accuracy of some of Bernadette's prophecies isn't proof of divine foresight, but rather a reflection of human insight. Modern environmental science has produced a wealth of evidence showing the link between human activities and the Earth's changing climate. Rising temperatures, severe weather, and habitat loss were predicted by scientists long before they became realities. These researchers argue that the fact Bernadette's warnings about environmental collapse align with today's reality is more about humanity's failure to heed environmental warnings than proof of a prophetic vision. For instance, climatologists have been warning for decades that climate change could lead to more frequent wildfires, flooding, and severe storms. Some scientists argue that Bernadette's descriptions of skies ablaze and rivers overflowing are the kinds of metaphors often found in prophetic literature, meant to convey intensity rather than specific events. They see her warnings as symbolic of broader human concerns and the connection between natural consequences and our choices. The debate between faith and science surrounding Bernadette's predictions becomes even more intricate when we consider the openness of her language. Her words about trials and grace leave room for broad interpretation, allowing believers to see them as divine messages, while skeptics find them to be generalities that fit a variety of situations. This flexibility is what makes Bernadette's prophecies resonate with different audiences. Some see them as specific warnings, while others view them as reflections on universal themes like justice, repentance, and the potential for human renewal. Interestingly, some modern scholars and theologians argue that faith and science don't have to be in opposition. Instead, they believe that spiritual visions, like Bernadette's, can serve as moral or symbolic guides, encouraging reflection on human nature, the environment, and our relationship with one another. They suggest that prophecy, rather than being an exact forecast of future events, might be a way to inspire collective action, to make people question their choices, and to promote self-reflection. In this way, Bernadette's visions can be seen as an invitation to address real-world issues like climate change, inequality, and social division from both a spiritual and scientific standpoint. These scholars propose that science addresses the physical aspects of the world, providing tangible solutions, while prophecy and faith offer guidance on how to approach these issues with wisdom, humility, and compassion. According to this view, Bernadette's predictions for 2025 can be both a spiritual message and a call for responsible action. Her words about great trials but also grace could be interpreted as an encouragement to seek scientific solutions while grounding our actions in ethical and moral values. In recent years, we've seen an increase in initiatives that seek to bridge the gap between science and spirituality, particularly around environmental issues. Some scientists, environmentalists, and religious leaders now collaborate on projects focused on conservation and sustainability, highlighting that our ethical duty to care for the earth resonates with spiritual beliefs across cultures and religions. This intersection of faith and science challenges the traditional divide, suggesting that both perspectives can work together to tackle the pressing issues humanity faces. Bernadette's prophecies invite us to question not only the validity of her visions, but also our own responses to them. Whether viewed as divine messages or as metaphors for timeless challenges, her words inspire many to seek a deeper understanding of their place in the world. While believers may find reassurance in her spiritual guidance, skeptics and scientists may find value in her warnings as reminders of the importance of action, responsibility, and compassion in times of crisis. Ultimately, the conversation surrounding Bernadette's visions transcends the traditional boundaries of faith and science, inviting people from diverse backgrounds to reflect on their impact on the world. In a time when society grapples with environmental degradation, political divisions, and social unrest, her predictions for 2025 resonate with the desire for change, unity, and a renewed commitment to preserving both the earth and human dignity. In this sense, Bernadette's story becomes a point of connection between those who seek answers through faith and those who search for solutions through science. For all of us, believers, skeptics, and those in between, Sister Bernadette's prophecies pose questions that extend beyond belief and into the heart of human nature. How will we respond to the challenges of our time? Can we find a way to integrate both spiritual insight and scientific knowledge to create a world that is compassionate, responsible, and sustainable? As we approach 2025, her words remind us that no matter our perspectives, we share a common journey, one that requires both wisdom and hope as we face the trials ahead. As Bernadette shared her visions with the world, she did not leave her followers with only messages of fear and warnings. Alongside predictions of trials and tribulations, she spoke of something far more powerful: hope. Bernadette's prophecies conveyed a profound belief in humanity's ability to find redemption through faith, unity, and compassion. She saw the difficulties as not merely punishments or inevitable ends, but as catalysts for transformation and spiritual renewal. In this section, we explore how Bernadette's vision of hope offers guidance for today's world, a world teetering on the edge of environmental collapse, social fragmentation, and spiritual disconnection. Central to Bernadette's message was the idea of a great awakening, a time of intense trials that would lead to a worldwide spiritual resurgence. The world will tremble, but faith will be restored, she reportedly said. This statement, for many, embodies her belief that even in the face of unimaginable hardship, humanity has the potential to rediscover its connection to faith and to each other. She envisioned a period of darkness, but this darkness was not permanent. Instead, it was an opportunity for people to return to core values of kindness, empathy, and unity. Throughout history, we see that in times of crisis, people often turn inward, reflecting on their beliefs, values, and the relationships that define them. This pattern is especially evident in recent years, as challenges like the global pandemic have led people to explore spirituality and faith, searching for meaning and comfort. Bernadette's vision of a great awakening has inspired countless individuals to see today's hardships as a doorway to personal and collective renewal. Her words suggest that adversity is not an end, but a beginning, a chance to redefine how we live, how we connect, and how we honor one another and the world. Bernadette's prophecies also spoke of the power of unity. She warned of a future marked by division and conflict, where hatred and discord would drive societies apart. Yet she believed that humanity could overcome these divisions, that people would ultimately find a way back to each other through shared values and a collective desire for peace. Her prediction that faith will be restored suggests that the trials of 2025 could spark a new sense of solidarity among people, transcending cultural, social, and political boundaries. In her vision, this unity was not merely a superficial agreement, but a profound connection rooted in compassion and mutual understanding. She believed that people would turn to faith, not out of fear, but out of a renewed sense of purpose. To Bernadette, unity meant more than gathering together. It meant a collective transformation toward a more compassionate world, one where empathy and understanding became the pillars of society. As people around the world face similar challenges, from environmental threats to social polarization, Bernadette's message reminds us that humanity's strength lies in its capacity to come together, to look beyond differences, and to build a future founded on shared hope. One of the most moving aspects of Bernadette's prophecy was her emphasis on compassion. She saw compassion as essential to navigating the trials ahead, a guiding light through times of despair. She encouraged people to look beyond themselves, to see others as extensions of their own spirit, and to treat each other with kindness. This aspect of her prophecy resonates strongly today, as many grapple with feelings of isolation and division. Bernadette's words offer a reminder that compassion is not a weakness, but a source of strength, a means of healing both personal and collective wounds. Her message of compassion is especially relevant in light of today's issues, as communities worldwide deal with both natural and human-made challenges. Acts of compassion, whether toward neighbors, strangers, or the environment, are powerful forces for change. Bernadette believed that through these acts, people could find their way back to faith, not as a rigid doctrine, but as a way of living in harmony with others and the world. In times of crisis, compassion becomes a unifying force, breaking down walls of mistrust and resentment, and creating connections that transcend borders. Another important dimension of Bernadette's vision of hope is her belief in humanity's resilience and capacity for spiritual renewal. She didn't believe that the world's trials would end in destruction, but rather that they would spark an inner transformation within individuals and societies. In her visions, she saw people returning to prayer, finding solace and strength in faith, and seeking answers to life's deepest questions. She foresaw a world where people would turn away from materialism and selfish pursuits, choosing instead a life driven by humility, gratitude, and reverence. This emphasis on spiritual renewal aligns with a growing trend today as more people turn toward meditation, prayer, and mindfulness to find balance in a chaotic world. Bernadette's vision of a world rediscovering its spiritual roots suggests that while challenges may strain humanity, they also provide opportunities for individuals to seek purpose and healing. Her belief that hardship would lead to a more spiritually connected world is echoed in the millions of people worldwide who now seek meaning beyond the material, looking for ways to connect with something greater than themselves. Amidst her predictions of darkness, Bernadette's words stand as a beacon of hope, offering a vision of a world that can be healed and transformed. Her faith in humanity's ability to rise above trials through unity, compassion, and spiritual growth is a powerful reminder that while we may face struggles, we are not powerless. The obstacles we encounter are not insurmountable, but are instead opportunities to create a world that reflects the best of human nature. In a society often defined by individualism and division, Bernadette's vision of unity offers an alternative path. She urged people to set aside their differences, to embrace each other with open hearts, and to move forward as one. Her prophecy doesn't call for blind faith, but rather a conscious choice to reconnect, to be guided by kindness and understanding. As the world grows more interconnected, her message resonates on a global scale, inviting people to see themselves as part of a shared human experience. As we face the uncertainty of 2025, Bernadette's vision of hope, unity, and renewal provides a roadmap for navigating these challenges. Her words remind us that even in times of crisis, we have the power to shape our future. We can choose compassion over division, faith over fear, and unity over isolation. Bernadette's prophecy is more than a prediction. It is a call to action, urging us to rise to our best selves, to create a world where hope is not just an ideal, but a reality. Through her visions, Bernadette leaves us with a profound reminder: humanity is resilient, capable of enduring and transforming, even in the darkest of times. As we approach 2025, her words encourage us to hold on to hope, to build bridges instead of walls, and to trust that together we can overcome the trials ahead. Her legacy serves as a testament to the enduring power of faith, unity, and compassion, a message as vital today as it was over a century ago. As we've explored the life and visions of Sister Bernadette, we find ourselves standing at the crossroads she may have foreseen, a world beset by environmental crises, social division, and spiritual questioning. Her prophecies for 2025 resonate deeply as our planet grapples with challenges that are not just physical or political, but profoundly human. Bernadette's message is both a warning and a beacon, urging us to acknowledge the trials before us and reminding us that we hold the power to transform our future through faith, unity, and compassion. Bernadette's predictions suggest that while hardship may define this era, it does not need to define humanity. Her words about the world trembling speak to our current reality, where climate disasters, political polarization, and social unrest create a sense of instability and fear. Yet, in this vision, she saw not an end, but an opportunity, a time of transformation where people would reconnect with the values that bind us all. This perspective sheds light on how we can approach the crises we face today, not with resignation, but with the resolve to seek change, guided by the timeless principles of empathy and collective strength. Her prophecy of a great awakening serves as a rallying cry, encouraging people to look inward and to one another for strength, purpose, and direction. Across the globe, people are already seeking new ways to live more meaningfully, reconnecting with faith and prioritizing acts of kindness. This great awakening doesn't have to be a sudden, dramatic event. Rather, it can be a steady, quiet shift as individuals choose to live with integrity, humility, and hope. Bernadette's vision shows that even small acts of kindness can contribute to a more compassionate world, where unity replaces division and understanding displaces fear. In her prediction about the chosen child, Bernadette alludes to a figure or movement that will rise from obscurity, carrying a message of hope and guiding humanity toward renewal. While we may never fully know what she intended by this, her words open up possibilities for each of us to play a part in this transformation. Whether through leadership, community service, or personal growth, anyone can contribute to the collective hope that Bernadette envisioned. Her prophecy invites us to consider the power of our choices, no matter how small, and to recognize the impact they can have on shaping a better future. For those who view Bernadette's visions as symbolic rather than literal, her words still hold meaning. Her life, grounded in humility and service, reminds us of the importance of living with purpose and treating each other with compassion. Her messages, often mystical and open to interpretation, challenge us to move beyond individualism and material pursuits to see ourselves as part of a larger whole. Bernadette's story is a testament to the idea that even the simplest of lives can carry messages of profound importance, messages that resonate through time and across cultures. As we approach 2025, the intersections of faith and science continue to shape our understanding of the world and our place within it. While some may find comfort in Bernadette's spiritual guidance, others may look to science to provide tangible solutions to the crises we face. Yet her message encourages us not to see these paths as opposing forces. Instead, Bernadette's words invite us to recognize that spiritual insight and scientific knowledge can work hand in hand, each contributing to a fuller understanding of our responsibilities and possibilities. Her vision suggests that through a balance of wisdom, compassion, and action, humanity can navigate even the darkest of times. Bernadette's prophecies have sparked debate, curiosity, and reverence, serving as a mirror for our collective anxieties and hopes. For believers, her predictions confirm a divine plan guiding humanity, urging us to draw closer to faith as a source of strength. For skeptics, her prophecies are an invitation to question, to explore, and to find meaning in a chaotic world. But beyond these interpretations, Bernadette's story reminds us of the power of resilience and the enduring nature of hope. Her words reach across time, connecting people from diverse backgrounds in a shared quest for truth and purpose. So, as we face the uncertainties of the coming year, we can choose to see Bernadette's message as a call to action, a call to embrace compassion, unity, and responsibility. Her visions challenge us to look beyond ourselves, to consider the impact of our actions on both humanity and the earth, and to hold on to hope even when circumstances seem daunting. Bernadette's prophecy is not just about predicting events, but about shaping attitudes, inspiring resilience, and reminding us of our capacity to create positive change. As this video comes to an end, let us remember that Bernadette's legacy lives on, not only in the sacred waters of Lourdes, but in the hearts of those who believe in the transformative power of faith and compassion. Her life and visions continue to inspire, offering guidance to those seeking clarity and comfort in uncertain times. In a world that often feels fragmented and tumultuous, Bernadette's message of unity stands as a reminder that together we are stronger, more resilient, and more capable of overcoming the challenges before us. If you found Bernadette's story compelling and wish to explore more about prophecy, faith, and the mysteries of the future, please subscribe to our channel. Together, let's journey into the unknown, uncovering the wisdom of the past to better understand what lies ahead. Thank you for watching, and may Bernadette's vision of hope inspire you as we face the trials and triumphs of the future.